Oke teman-teman, sepertinya ToA ini ya lumayan membuat kontroversi ya. Karena admin sendiri di live stream ini ya, eee, akhirnya admin full star tuh. Berdasarkan saran-saran dari teman-teman ini ya, teman-teman viewer ya, admin full star bro. Nah, tapi sepertinya di video yang barusan di-upload oleh Mister Tontas ini ya, mungkin beliau akan membahas lebih lanjut itu kondisi ToA sekarang seperti apa ya, karena dari thumbnail-nya aja Kuro Games mess up. Apakah sekarang ToA-nya terlalu susah, ToA dan Wiwa sekarang ya? Karena menurutku sebagai pemain WoWA dari 1.0 ya, admin ini ngerasa dulu-dulu itu kita sebagai pemain WoWA ini terlalu dimanja itu. Pakai Wiwa yang dulu sangat-sangat easy sekali itu ya. Terus ToA kemarin-kemarin juga sangat-sangat easy. Sekarang ketika Wiwa dan juga ToA disusahin dikit, mungkin ada sedikit keluhan atau mungkin yang kasual-kasual langsung pada kabur atau mungkin ngeluh nyalahin sana sini. Padahal definisi konten endgame yang sebenarnya itu merupakan tantangan. Jadi membuat apalagi yang free to play ya. Yang free to play mungkin monthly juga kalau ampas terus juga termasuk. Dengan akun kita yang seadanya ya, kecuali kalau whaler atau yang pokoknya mereka bisa suka-suka mereka lah. Pengen Augusta RC6 gas RC6. Sepertinya free to play ini sekarang di ToA dan Wiwa ini si Kuro ingin membuat konten endgame yang sebenarnya. Di mana kita itu di-push, kita tuh didorong untuk menggunakan potensi, refleks dan juga build eco dan lain-lain. Pokoknya resource yang kita punya itu kalau bisa dioptimalkan itu. Jadi kalau yang pengen full star ya. Nah kita akan nonton nih, si Sentontas akan berkata apa ya beliau ini ya.
And gentlemen, it is safe to say that there's been a bit of an interesting reaction to some of the new ToA floors that have come out. If you've been keeping up with the game, you would know that Wuthering Waves' Hazard Tower, supposedly hardest endgame in the game, that's resetting at the very least, has added floors 3 and 4. And this is the whole situation that's going on over here.
Nah ini juga termasuk nih, karena kan mungkin yang pemain baru di WoWA kan nggak punya tim yang cukup kan untuk menghandle 2 lantai tambahan. Dan ini tuh di lantai yang susah ya. Nah kalau misal tambahan 2 lantainya di tower yang kanan kiri yang HP-nya nggak terlalu tinggi ya, yang HP-nya rendah yang bisalah di-manage pakai karakter seadanya. Ini 2 lantai tambahannya itu sulit bro, karena di tengah ya ibaratnya. Kan dari dulu kan kita udah pada tahu kan tipsnya itu fokus ke tower tengah dulu, nanti yang kanan kiri itu pakai yang sisa-sisa itu atau seadanya apa ya.
I've discovered why a lot of people are having some issues. And the reality of the situation is that, well, it's not HP inflation. I dare say it's not really even the buff. The real issue that I think is being dealt with right now is the fact that some of these bosses' movesets are absolutely diseased. And so basically, I have...
Nah ini aku yang kesel ya. Setelah ada mobbing naga, si batu ini loh, sukanya mencar bro. Si batu ini loh. Woi bro, COVID udah selesai ngapain lo social distancing? Asli. Ini batu ngeselin deh, kalau bisa batunya ilangin aja jadi habis Spectro Drake lawan si macan terus Morning Ike ya. Aku rasa udah cukup itu. Si batu ini ngapain tuh bro?
a run over here showing off how Gian works in the side tower. I just want, or in floor 3, I want to do a bit of a comparison between floors 3 and 4, just so I can show you exactly what is so messed up with using certain units on the roster. So for a bit of like just a preview of what I got over here, my Gian is pretty well built, not at 2k attack yet. His attack is quite low, 120 ER, and of course, right, he's got some decent stats. He's got like 25.1% heavy attack damage, but he's got a lot of mix of like other stuff, right? So I would dare say that this is like it's a high quality build on the crit side, but the attack is really low, and then it's not like the damage bonuses are particularly high either. It's an okay build. It's a pretty good one, but this isn't like some ball crushing, like, you know, every single substat. The fact that it's below 2k, and the fact that the heavy attack is below 30%, I think is enough for, you know, people to realize This is a good build, but it's not top tier. We got Mortifi over here. He's going to be on Static Mist, and I do believe, for the purposes of this demo, we'll just go ahead and we'll put him on the Empyrene Anthem set, because I personally like this one. I think it's pretty good. So, yeah, that's what we'll be running with. And so Shorekeeper's just going to be around here doing her Shorekeeper things. Nothing too crazy. Not that much HP, just the 230 ER. And this is the team we're going to be using for both overviews. I want to talk about why I think Floor 3 is actually pretty okay, and why Floor 4 is so messed up. And the thing is, there are a lot of teams in the game that will have this issue, and there are also a lot of teams in the game that will not have this issue. And so, first, let me just describe what's going on here. So, Floor 3 is what I would call just like...
Aku meskipun nggak pengen si kasual itu muncul di ToA ya, tapi menurutku cepat lambat itu namanya yang musuh-musuh baru itu ya. Yang itu kayaknya cepat atau lambat juga bakal masuk ke Wiwa atau ToA sih. Meskipun aku sebenarnya juga nggak pengen ya.
A vanilla floor. Yeah, it actually doesn't feel too particularly bad. The only thing is that you need to have some sort of way to do a minor bit of grouping. And by minor bit of grouping, there are multiple ways of enemies that spawn. But the thing is that they're not like too hard to manage because they all spawn like literally right next to each other. You just can just go to the side and then they're like you can literally see like Shorekeeper is like handling these guys with no issue at all. Right? It's just... And honestly, I think that as long as you're not actively trying to, like, ungroup them, they will stick together. So now we're in on Jian, right? They're all, like, stuck together like glue. And then they literally just get terminated. And that's the build that they're getting terminated on, right? And the unfortunate part, right, is that these guys can do, like, a little bit of blocking and stuff. These guys can be a bit of, like, a time eater. You just gotta make sure that you're, you know, not, like, damaging right into their shields and messing up the rotation that way. So, you can see over here, right? Some annoying mechanics overall, but this is, like, nothing too crazy to worry about, right? We've all seen this before. And now we got this guy, and this guy is kind of this guy's a problem. This Light Crusher is, without a doubt, one of, like, the most painful units of the game. Oh, by the way, my Jian is S1, but we won't be using his S1. His S1 basically gives him 2 charges of his skill. We'll be making sure only to use 1 across all the gameplay. So, yeah. I can basically make it seem like he is S1. So, you can see over here, right, we got very good timing. Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe I should have waited until he touched the ground first. Yeah, he just completely ate our liberation and did not get damage from it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna restart that run. Just as a quick note.
Nah, ini apa ya? Karena kan kita kan lawan musuh yang nggak diem doang kan, musuhnya gerak kan. Nah, disitulah ada faktor-faktor yang mungkin musuhnya nanti kitanya salah arah atau musuhnya nggak ngumpul itu loh yang bikin ToA ini semakin menantang ya. Tapi ingat, tujuan konten endgame itu kan emang tantangan. Nah, kalau admin sendiri dengan skill yang seadanya ini ya, admin bisa tuh. Tadi kira-kira berapa itu? Kayaknya nggak sampai 1 jam admin udah full star ya di tempat yang Zani dan juga apa tadi? Admin tadi pakai apa? Ya pokoknya udah full star lah tadi lah di live stream ya.
Hecate Echo, like, auto parries. It's quite like a nice pick against these guys. And I just skilled there to get some energy, made sure I was at, like, a high forte circuit to do it. And now we got the Light Crusher. And this guy over here is, like, a bit of an issue. This guy is a bit of an issue. In that...
Menurutku ini oke sih. Jadi konten endgame yang sebenarnya. Dikasih tantangan kuru ya, mari. Terus mencoba, mengusahakan, mengoptimalkan apa yang kita punya tuh. Oh, aku itu pakai tim Mono Fusion sama Zani. Ya.
Well, he has a tendency to, like, jump around a lot. And you want to make sure you break him while he's jumping around. So, you're going to notice over here, right? Okay, he's jumping around right now. I could be fucked, or Mortifi hits him.
Lah, ini kan ada faktor RNG dari yang gerakan atau moveset yang dipakai bosnya kan.
The air, he does landing damage. That is so ass. Yeah, he does landing damage, just so you know. You will get knocked back.
Jadi kalian yang ngerasa kasual, ngerasa cukup kesulitan ya, kalian lihat aja nih. Si Mister Tontas kan ya harusnya kan ya panutan kan. Panutan aja juga sampai di konten yang dia bahkan pengen nunjukin ya, dia sampai reset-reset tuh.
But that's the main thing you want to focus on, right? And this is one of the rough parts about using this character in this ToA at the very least. Gian has a bit of an issue, right? Where he can't really dodge as much during his animations as other characters. Otherwise, it's like a massive DPS loss. And when this ToA really rewards characters that are able to like dodge seamlessly with their animations, he's a character that suffers. There are plenty of other units with this issue. Think like your Jinsees and stuff like that. That kind of really just want to like face tank attacks. Gian is one of those characters as well, right? And the nice thing is that this Aches breaks really fast. And you're beginning to see, right? Oh, this Claire is looking really good. This Claire's looking really good, right? I've actually gotten better times before. I've gotten up to like... Okay, come on, man.
Nah,
I've gotten up to like 15 seconds fast.
itu musuhnya juga terbang-terbang. Musuhnya juga terbang-terbang ya. Dan kalian lihat tadi, sisanya cuma berapa detik tadi.
Okay, come on, man. I've gotten up...
Itu cuma sisa 10 detik loh asli. Sebenarnya untuk apa ya, ini membuktikan ini. Untuk orang yang bisa main ya. Dan beliau ini kan kayak Jian banget kan. Setauku sih Jiannya dia jago ya. Itu cuma sisa 10 detik ya. Kalian nggak usah berkecil hati tuh. Terus ya tergantung kalian ya. Kalian pengen berusaha atau ya udah ngerasa males ya. Terserah tuh. Tapi kalian bisa lihat aja tuh. Mungkin ngelihat aku atau Mr. Tontas ini ya.
To like 15 seconds faster with more optimizations in the rotation. Naturally, that one was a little bit slower because I was giving live commentary the entire time. But just know that
Beta testernya jangan-jangan nanti kayak kemarin lagi tuh. Fokus ke telapak kaki Yuno ya. Karena kemarin Sentontas ngeluhnya lucu juga tuh. Ini beta tester ini ngetes konten endgame atau fokus telapak kaki Yuno.
at floor 3, as long as you got like a little bit of AoE, there's no problems, right? That looked okay. That looked fine, right? We're using basically an S0R.
Game apa nih kayak Godzilla gini?
We made sure not to be
Kayaknya
spamming
AI
his skill,
tadi.
because that's the only thing his S1 lets him do, is it just gives him extra charges of the skill. And we made sure not to use them, right? So Gian looked great. It's S1 R1, effectively S0 R1 with the way we played him. The Mortify build is all right, but it's not like we're doing anything mind-blowing over here. And Shorekeepers is just okay. Clearing that with about 25 seconds left, which was my best run where I'm sweating, pretty good. Now, we got this whole situation over here, where it's a little bit rough. Because this Lampy Lumen Myriad and the Dragon of Dirge, they might be some of the worst bosses in the game for a specific subsect of characters. This one feels accessible to a good amount of the roster. This one doesn't. And let me explain why. We'll be doing live commentary of this run. It's not going to be as good as if I'm just like focusing. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about over here. Don't pay too much of an attention to the time though. The Dragon of Dirge is quite possibly one of the bosses in the game that's like just the most annoying with its moveset. Because it has this really amazing ability to jump around the arena and go pretty much anywhere it wants in almost no time at all. It also like has a fucked up hitbox or something where attacks can sometimes just like leave you on like the opposite side of it. Right, and so you saw that over here, right? We're looking pretty good. Not too bad. We get it. We get the break off. Life's all right. We're moving on to the next rotation. It's not looking too bad, right? We're making sure to go to Gian every once in a while to use a skill. We're not using it too often, right? I gotta wait until that shit is about 2 charges, and now I can use another one, right? The time's looking pretty good. We're actually doing quite good against this guy. Even though his moveset can be annoying, I don't think the Dragon of Dirge is actually the biggest issue in this fight. The biggest issue is, without a doubt... And you know what? We'll just do this. We'll just do a double intro real fast. More if he can get his ER fast enough. You're wide open. All right, perfect. That's just an example of how this guy can be an asshole. Now you got this guy, and he is the supreme asshole. This is actually, I know I'm doing this live, but this is actually the best time I've gotten on the run so far. So if we're gonna clear here, it's gonna be from this. Yeah, I guess I play better when I'm talking. Anyways. Ready for battle. The problem with the Lampilumen Myriad is it has this tendency to use this teleport attack, where it teleports to the opposite side of the arena and does...
Wah, asli tuh. Bikin ngulang-ngulang tuh dia yang teleport itu ya.
That. It becomes invulnerable, essentially, for, like, your entire rotation. And so, if you're a team, right, that can either, like, break it quickly, or you're a team that, you know, has a lot of flexibility in terms of, like, where it can attack, like, range isn't, like, too much of a concern, then you won't really, like, struggle, right? But if you're ever in a situation where, like, I don't know, you can't, like, track the boss like this, like, what am I supposed to do here? And there are a lot of characters that suffer from this. So I think we might actually clear. I'm not super sure. We might actually clear this. But you're probably beginning to notice, right? Oh, wow. I see why the clears aren't happening. We obviously have enough damage.
Wah. Nah, kalian lihat tuh. Tadi beliau kan bilang, wah ini aku yang paling cepat. Terus sepertinya aku kalau main sambil ngobrol malah lebih optimal. Beliau aja kedodoran tuh, atau keteteran ya. Jadi menurutku ya.
We obviously have enough ER because when we fought the Dragon of Dirge, it was okay. But now when we fight this guy, we are now having ER issues, and we're now having damage issues. This is the thing. In this game, just check this out real fast. Look at what happens when I use my skill on nothing. I gain no ER. When I use my skill and hit the enemy, though, I gain ER. That's how it works for every single attack.
Apa mungkin admin nggak se-skill issue itu? Menurut kalian, apa mungkin admin nggak se-skill issue itu?
Back in this game. And when a boss like this just jumps around for fucking fun for 50% of the fight, there are a couple things happening. You're not doing damage. You're also not generating any energy either. And so the end result is that this guy basically ups your ER requirements because you're never fucking hitting him, and then also ups your damage requirements at the same time because you're never fucking hitting him. And this is the thing. He has like some special mechanic built in where he does he teleports to the middle, right? Then fucking jumps up and down like he's at a fucking bouncy house. He does that twice in a row. He literally does it twice in a row. And so effectively, in this fight where you have a 2-minute 30-second time limit, he spends more than 30 seconds not being hittable. Unless you're using a specific type of character. And this is the thing. There are naturally some characters in the game, right? Whose damage is really easy to access. Because they're like in the air, they have a lot of gap closers, so on and so forth. Those characters, I'm just going to use an example team. This team, for example, can just straight up ignore
Walen sama Rexland jangan jadi beta tester. Nanti gamenya beneran impossible itu. Nanti gamenya nanti mekanik hologram itu full masuk ToA sama Viva. Mereka jangan jadi beta tester, ntar yang bisa full star mereka berdua doang.
the mechanics of the Lampy Lumen Myriad because they're in the air and they can just follow him. They can just follow him in the air and pretend that he's not doing whatever he's doing. I'm just gonna list the DPSs that can
Semestinya itu ya, kalau mau gamenya paling nggak kayak accessible atau masuk akal lah buat kasual. Mestinya yang jadi beta tester itu admin deh. Karena admin ini yakin banget ya, kayak admin ini bisa tuh mewakili yang kasual-kasual ya. Lah kalau yang yang jadi beta tester kayak yang ikut lomba gitu, apakah relate itu ke 90% pemain WoW ya?
basically just ignore what the fuck he's doing. You have characters like this, where their main damage type is from ranged attacks. And so, when the guy's in the air, I know Carlotta's probably not the best pick because she's Glacio, but I'm sure you can use her. You'll be shooting them in the air. And so you can just ignore the fact that he's jumping up and down and just damage him the entire time. No ER or damage issues there. But the thing is, when you're using some other units on the roster, and I'm just gonna put them here, you're fucked. I genuinely think you're actually just screwed because you just won't be able to damage the guy for 30 seconds while he's jumping up and down.
Wah real, ini lantai 4 kan aku pakai Zani kan. Aku nyoba pakai Zani di live stream kan. Asli itu nyusahin itu yang lompat-lompat, teleport, terus itu ya. Lompat, teleport, ngebekuin. Terus naganya ini ngeriwahin gitu. Kita lagi mau ngumpulin outro supaya ini ya. Malah diinterupsi terus itu sama si naga.
And the fact that this boss is doing it twice in a row is honestly a little bit criminal. To just give you guys like a little bit of proof of exactly what I'm talking about over here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pop on over to a previous recording that I had on stream today. I'll show you all literally what I am talking about over here. Oh my god. Teleports. Bro. Teleports. Okay, nah. That is just, this is...
Ini yang aku rasain barusan tuh. Malah lompat-lompat. Ngebling-ngebling.
Illegal. That is, okay, that's, that thing teleporting to the middle and then proceeding to realize right here, I'm about to break this guy, right? I still think I have a chance of clearing because I'm just about to break him, right? And I'm like, oh, uninterrupted time to beat his ass. We can surely get it done within the next 31 seconds, right? Ooh. So basically, not be hittable is like, what it... I'm malding because I think this mechanic is frankly retarded, but that's just my personal take. So we break his ass, right? And it's like, okay, it's time to go. We're about to beat his ass right now.
Jujur setelah nonton video Sentontas ini ya, ternyata aku nggak perlu terlalu minder tuh. Ternyata I'm not that bad bro, I think ya. Ngelihat Mr. Sentontas bisa ini ya, bisa miss gini ya. I think I'm not that bad.
Right? But look at the problem. I have no fucking energy. I have no mana. I have no mana for this rotation. That's because I spent the entirety of the last rotation.
Aku setuju itu. Kalau timernya ditambah 15 detik aja. Ini kan ini kan pada komen kan. Ada yang komen berapa detik tuh, 45 detik, ada yang ngomong nggak usah kayak 30 detik, 1 menit atau 45 detik ya. 15 detik aja. Itu udah ngebantu banget asli. 15 detik aja. Serius.
Watching this guy cosplay a fucking rabbit. So it not only griefed this rotation, but it griefs the one immediately after it. And this is what I have to do. What even is that? Look at this. Look at what I'm doing. And this is the thing, right? You're noticing, oh my god, Saint has no fucking ER. Yeah. And now people are beginning to think they have an ER issue. when the issue is you're not generating energy in the first place because none of your attacks are hitting the fucking enemy because the enemy's moveset does not make it fucking hittable. Yeah, that's...
Iya, tadi di live stream sampai admin memperbaiki build Zani admin ya. Untung dengan echo yang ada udah cukup tuh. Jadi tadi admin memperbaiki IR dari Zani admin ya.
It's because I hit him for about 2 seconds out of my 10-second liberation. And then watch this. He just recovered from being broken. He just griefed 2 rotations, right? He griefed 2 rotations because he was doing the dodging. The one where he did the dodging, and then the one immediately afterwards where I was spending more time generating ER, and then watch what he does next. He already griefed 2 rotations. I'm starting my 3rd one. Check this out. Gosh, he's about to teleport again. He's about to go again. You have 3 rotations in this fight that essentially get bricked when you're getting close to the clear mark. He
Kayak nonton aku sendiri deh, kayak nonton aku sendiri tuh waktu tadi tryhard Zani ya.
griefed 1 rotation by dodging. Then the 2nd rotation, you don't have enough ER because he dodged all the other attacks in the 1st rotation. And then on the 3rd one, he jumps again. He does it twice in a row. Are you beginning to see why there are some characters that are struggling in the game mode? Because they literally cannot regain their energy and they cannot damage the enemy either because this guy's moveset is not balanced for this type of content. I think there's a reason why the Lampy Lumen Myriad was like banned from the ToA. He only started showing, this is a 1.0 boss, and he only started showing up.
Dan yang menurutku agak nggak masuk akal Lampy Lumen ini kan Glacio kan. Dan karakter yang di banner kan DPS-nya Carlota kan. Please lah Kuro. Seenggak-enggaknya kalau mau adil ngasih privilege ya. Ini privilege-nya kan kayak 1-2 ini Karte, 3-4 ini kayak Augusta Prolova kan. Ya aku tahu kalau Carlota itu rilisnya di 2.0 udah agak lama ya. Tapi please lah karena Carlota lagi di banner ya. Tolong juga dikasih privilege jadi yang punya Carlota, waduh ini bannernya lagi Carlota. Kita lihat privilege-nya apa? Ya sayangnya untuk Augusta sama Prolova ya. Kayak buat karakter baru itu. Sebenarnya juga dibilang karakter baru juga. Carlota juga karakter baru gak sih? Orang dia rilis 2.0 kan.
Like 2 months ago. Probably because this is the most diseased thing I've ever seen in the game. And the fact that he does it twice in a row, effectively making himself invulnerable to 3 rotations, depending on the character you're using, is insane. This is my take. This boss should either be removed or its moveset needs to be modified so that it doesn't use that attack more than 1 time. If it used it 1 time, okay, right? I can maybe understand that. Okay, like...
Aku juga gak setujunya itu Lampy Lumen itu ada karena karakter bannernya itu Carlota ya. Soalnya sama-sama Glacio tuh.
It's like its signature move. And that's literally what the Echo skill is, right? The Echo skill of the Lampy Lumen Myriad is it jumping up and down. Maybe it does it 1 fucking time. But twice in a row to the point where it's going to grief your rotations and require you to literally play like in this awkward fucking way mid-rotation because you're not hitting any of your attacks is ridiculous. And this is the thing. This is not going to be an issue for a lot of people because they're simply not using the characters that are affected by it. But this is the thing. The list of characters affected by this is actually kind of significant. Because, like, this unit gets absolutely destroyed by this thing.
Wow, bro. Admin nih pakai Zani nih tadi buat lantai 4. Ternyata I'm not that bad, bro. Admin maksa pakai Zani karena ya yang punya ini doang ya soalnya.
Because she's just missing every single one of her Nightfall attacks. He does like nothing against this guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then just if you want an idea about this situation, God forbid God forbid you're trying to use one of these three against that guy. Oh, I mean, you're not using Ling Yang anyways, but God forbid you try to use one of these two. You're just gonna be running after that dude the entire fucking time and not doing any damage and also not having any ER at all. The situation over here is kind of ridiculous. This is probably the only boss I've seen in the game that is actually this unavailable to hit this frequently. I have never seen a boss that's this difficult to hit. I've never seen a situation where people are complaining about... There are literally people complaining that ER got nerfed. That, like, the stages 3 and 4 have a special ER nerf. And that they're designed to, like, not make you regenerate as much. No, it's because these bosses are fucking diseased. This boss is the most diseased. The Dragon of Dirge is okay. It's just annoying because it moves around so much. But the Lampy Lumen, it is literally diseased. But the thing is, right, and this is going to be the final verification test I'll do over here. I'll just show you what it looks like when you have a team that can just ignore what's going on. And this is like an example of where it feels unintended, because Kuro Games has literally modified the movesets of ToA bosses before to take out the annoying cancerous moves from their kit. The Ikes, for example, doesn't fly into the air for 20 seconds. The Monkey, for example, doesn't hop on its
betul. Kata si Night Mode ini bener. Kalau aku yang jadi beta tester ya, nggak ada itu ngeluh-ngeluh. Karena tingkat kesulitannya pasti udah aku perhatiin banget ya. Sekiranya yang nyebelin untuk yang kasual-kasual ya. Nanti konten endgame pasti enak itu, enak dan nyaman itu. Kalau aku yang jadi beta testernya ya, real.
Fucking wooden dildo and then start playing bongo drums on it. It does that shit in holograms, and it does that shit in the overworld, where they will be...
Ini tuh emang terlalu buat Prolova Augusta banget. Serius.
Like invulnerable for X amount of time, and then you gotta like wait out the phase. This guy's like overworld mechanic, the one where he's just annoying as shit. He does it in the ToA, and I'm gonna be real here. It's a little bit fucking rough when all the other bosses in the game have had their movesets modified to not be diseased in the game mode. We'll be using the team that can just straight up ignore the mechanics. I'll show you all the builds that I'm working with over here. The Lupa's pretty good. She's also on her weapon. This Brant is better than your Brant, even if he's S2. And this is the Chang Li. They're all on their weapons. So let's just go ahead. Let's show you all what it looks like when somebody can just face roll the mechanics. I know I'm using a fusion team against the fusion boss.
Iya, admin Dewan Perwakilan Kasual ya. DPK ya, Dewan Perwakilan Kasual. Enggak, admin kan udah main game gacha dari zaman BlackBerry kan. Admin kalau balancing konten endgame itu sangat-sangat menguasai banget ya. Makanya dari sudut pandang admin aneh itu kalau ada lampi lumen yang resist Glacio ya.
Here we go. So you're beginning to notice, oh man, okay. Like I said, the Dragon of Dirge, not too big of a deal. I don't actually dislike this guy. Okay, well, Lupa's auto dodge can sometimes be a little bit diseased because it just made my chain lead
damage-nya tinggi juga ya ini ya.
But hey, you know what? It is what it is, right?
Oh, berarti pakai mono fusion di sini.
Yeah, that happened.
Coba ini sisa berapa detik?
So yeah, this entire fusion team is S0.
Aku belum nyoba soalnya, nggak kepikiran ya. Soalnya lihat si Dragon of Dirge ini kan atributnya fusion kan. Aku kira bakal susah itu kalau ditabrak pakai mono fusion ini ya. Belum nyoba soalnya. Kasih 3 kerasaur. Kasih 3 kerasaur.
这是你，等等，不对，这才是你。你想征服阿尔比？
Asal ada shield.
So yeah, I mean, not a lot of commentary over here. I mean, you're just watching me like intro skill all this shit. So yeah, it's not like I'm doing anything absurdly insane. I'm kind of just repeating the same rotation over and over. I'm just hoping to finish this guy off and then hit the anchor on the lamp. Oh, and this motherfucker, his corpse is immovable.
Aku juga ngalamin tuh tadi. Mayat naganya ya. Mayat naganya itu ngehalangin dari mau lari ke lampi lumennya ini loh. Jadi mayat naganya tadi itu ngehalangin bro. Kita nggak bisa lari nembus mayat naganya ya.
Yeah, that's annoying too. Yeah, I don't know why his body does that. Like, sometimes, yeah, that is something that does occur as well, just so you guys know. Oh, God. Okay, well, we are griefing this rotation. That much is for certain. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're not getting Lupa's pack hunt. Yeah, we're not getting her enhanced intro after that. We got body blocked by a body. So... Okay, can she use your heavy attack? So this is basically what I'm talking about over here, is that it doesn't matter what this boss does. It doesn't matter what this boss does, at least at this point. Wait, yeah, okay, this is the thing. The time should definitely be better, but I think we had enough issues in the run. I think that practical example of half of our attacks getting deleted and no Lupa special intros. Yeah, so we didn't even get that one either. So you can clearly see.
Oke, bahkan ternyata aku kira bisa, ternyata di contohnya pun dia sendiri kagak full star ya.
Over here is that like this team can basically just hit him the entire fucking time.
Enggak, aku
And,
udah
like,
menduga itu. Yang bikin lama itu naganya ya. Karena naganya kan fusion kan. Jadi kalau bisa itu pakai tim yang nggak fusion sama nggak glacio. Karena naganya kan fusion, lampi lumen, glacio. Nah ini yang bikin ngenes. Ini kan karakter di banner Carlota kan. Masa ya dikasih lampi lumen gitu. Udah Carlota itu nggak dapat privilege ya dari buff-nya yang sepertinya emang buat Augusta Prolova banget ya.
The only situation where I wasn't hitting was, of course, when I literally got like 10 seconds deducted from my run and missed every single enhanced intro because the guy's fucking body blocked me. Let me show you all what it looks like when, well, the bad shit doesn't happen. Yeah, we just gotta make sure not to get body blocked by the corpse this time. Yeah, corpse inflation is crazy. Bro, his hitbox for like... There we go, and boom. His hitbox for like... blocking you is nuts. Like, this guy has like one of the thickest models in the game for sure. So yeah, you guys can clearly tell, right? The damage is a lot better when half of your attacks aren't getting deleted. And we just gotta make sure. I think this is where we got griefed last time.
Admin lebih dari sentontas meskipun miso-miso. Ya, habis ngeliat ini aku jadi ngerasa I'm not too bad deh. I'm not that bad.
All right, here we go. So this Lampy Lumen Myriad is like when this team starts feeling like Chang Li is a character, for example, right? That absolutely trivializes this guy because there's almost no way for Chang Li to miss her attacks with the range that she has. Lupa is the only weak spot of this team because, yes, she can sometimes, like, miss some of the air attacks and stuff like that. But in all honesty, like, look at this. We're just damaging right... Like, do you see how we're just ignoring the mechanic that it's doing right now? The thing that's wasting so many other teams' time, we're just doing a rotation into. And this is like what I find to be the biggest problem with this boss. This might be the main boss in the game that has such a like big disparity in how the team feels simply from like the moveset of the kit. It's just the moveset of the kit of the character and the diseased attacks that the boss is doing. We're literally going against type resistance to the Dragon of Dirge, but we save so much time against the Lampy Lumen Myriad that we end up getting a 3-star clear. That is how much extra time this guy's moveset is adding to certain teams. There are some teams, right, that aren't affected by this. That's why they're saying floor 4 is easier. But there are other teams, right? There are other teams where this alone adds on like 50 extra seconds onto your clear. It needs to be fixed. There needs to be an adjustment made because there's something deeply fucking wrong with this boss. And I'm just gonna be honest, guys. It is kind of rough that it is releasing in this state because I'm just gonna be real with you. I think somebody just needs to play test this once with any character that isn't one of the new ones in the beta, and then they would just be like, oh yeah, this feels absolutely like shit if you're using certain characters. Maybe we should modify the moveset a little bit. It genuinely, again, feels like another result of beta testers not doing their job. Because you could say it's giga shilling. I think it's a little bit odd when about 50% of the DPSs feel bad, and then 50% of them feel fine, with the criteria of being fine being that you have ranged attacks, or that you have gap closers in your kit, because this guy just fucking hops around like crazy. It's too much. And I think that Kuro needs to put out a patch update, cull the moveset of this boss, make it so that it's not spamming that attack repeatedly, because right now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's too much. The difference in delta between teams of equal investment and equal DPS is too much because you're just missing half of your attacks. You don't get the energy, and then your clear time is just getting griefed. That'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is my biggest issue with the ToA, and hopefully we've broken down in, you know, pretty specific detail what makes parts of...
Oke, jadi kalian apakah merasa kesulitan dengan ToA dan Wiwa yang terbaru? Ya, sebenarnya namanya juga konten endgame. Kalau kita di-push untuk sampai ke limit akun kita ya, ya itulah esensi dari endgame. Karena endgame sendiri sebenarnya itu tidak mungkin untuk orang yang tertentu yang males try hard itu memang mungkin. Dan tapi aku penasaran banget ini pendapat kalian di kolom komentar ini seperti apa ya. Thank you udah nonton, like, comment, dan subscribe. Bye-bye.